Welcome again. Today we will see about functions in PHP. Now, what do you mean by function? Function is nothing but a block which will be having a single statement or the set of statement which might be performing a particular task. Now, why there is need for writing code in the block? I mean to say in function. So this function will help us out in many ways. We need to define function only once. It means we need to define the task which is to be performed only once, but we can use that task many times as and where we want. It will reduce the number of code line because there is no need to write that functionality or the task each time whenever we need it. We just define it once and we can make a call to that function whenever we want. So that will reduce the code line. Now there are two categories of functions in PHP: built-in or system defined or library or predefined functions, and second one is user defined function. Now, what are the built-in or predefined or system-defined or library functions? There are many categories: array functions, date time functions, string functions, math functions, functions for file processing. So there are many number of functions available for such a functionality in PHP. Now we will see about the user-defined functions in PHP. There is two things that we need to write when we want to define a user defined function. So we have to create a function, that is definition or the function body, and second part is we need to call a function. So defining a function and calling a function, that are the two parts that we need when we want to write a user defined function. Now we will see about the PHP functions, how to write it. So we can have a variety of function. So first type of function is we can have a default function. It means a function without argument or without parameter in the parenthesis. So how to define that function or how to write the body of the function? So first of all, we need to type a keyword, that is function. Give name of your choice as a function name, and you may not have any parameter in the bracket. Write the code. It means write the task that you want to perform, and which syntax or how to call a function without argument. Just call that function with the name itself. There is no need of any keyword or any object dot etc. Just make a call by giving a name of function, round bracket and semicolon. So how this function can be written? We will see one program of calculating area of square by creating. We will start writing the program for calculating area of square. Now we will start with the start tag of the PHP. We type in the online compiler with the PHP tag. Now I want to calculate the area of square. So let's see. Uh, I am printing over here first a welcome message on the screen, and now I want to calculate area of square. So for calculating area of square, I need to write a user defined function and I want to make a call to it. So you may write a function definition anywhere in the PHP start tag and end tag. So suppose I am writing that function with function keyword. Name of function I am giving is SQU, and I am writing function with no parameter or no argument. Now what task this function squ should perform, that code we will write in this function. So I am writing dollar s is equal to read line, in bracket I am giving a message enter side of square. So we will read that side of square in s variable, and we will calculate the answer. Dollar a is equal to dollar s into dollar s. Answer will be in a, and we will print that answer, that area of square is equal to, and our answer will be, and our answer is in a variable. So we are printing that over here. So now this function body or definition is written over here. Now our program will be continuing like anything. Calculate area of square, like this. I want to give this message on the screen, and then I want to use this function or call this function. So I will be calling this function just by name, that's it, semicolon. And after calling that function I want to give a message that thank you. Okay, let's see the output of this code. Now when we run this code, we will see the output. Enter side of the square 2, and the area of square is displayed as a 4. So this is the function without any argument. You can write function body anywhere in the PHP code, and you can make a call anywhere wherever you want. Suppose after thank you also I want to calculate the square of an area of the square, then I will again make a call to the square function. So it will execute for the first time, again it will execute for the second time, and we will get the answer. So we are defining the body only once, and we are making use of it multiple times. So it is reducing the code line by avoiding typing of the code again and again. Now, moving on, another variation of writing user defined function in PHP is function with argument. So, we may have the parameters in the program that we want to read in the function name, and same while calling the function we have to give the parameter value. So we will see the same program of area of square by using the function with argument. We will make change in the same code itself. Let's see. Now if I want to read the side of the square and pass that to the function. See, we will print welcome. We will have this line of code. We will have welcome, calculate area of square, welcome message. We will read the side into the s variable. Now I want to make a call to squ function and pass this side. So side is in s variable, so I will be passing that, and I will be making call to a function. So when I am passing this argument, so in function body or in definition, this function should receive the value coming from the calling function. So this variable has to be received over here. So I am taking one variable, suppose x. So side of the square is received in x. So I am calculating the area of square by doing x into x and displaying the answer. So this is the code of writing function with argument. You may have any number of arguments in the bracket. So welcome message is displayed, then calculate area of square is displayed, then it has asked for enter side of the square. So I have given 2 and I have entered. So it had made a call to SQU function. 2 is passed, 2 is received in X. Then area is calculated and answer is displayed. Thank you. So we can write a function with argument as well. And here is the benefit of using function in PHP is that we need not to worry about the data types in the bracket and the return type of the function. Likewise, next one, we can have a function with return value. Sometimes the function is doing the calculation and displaying the answer in its body itself. But sometimes the function may want that the calculation should be done and answer should be returned to some calling program. So that can be done. Either here you may have a function with without argument or with argument, and when we want to return the value from the function as an answer to the calling function, just use keyword return and whatever is your answer in the variable, mention that variable name. But in calling function, while calling the function, you have to receive that answer in another variable. When it is returning something and a call is made, we have to receive the answer somewhere. Same code we will see where we want to receive the answer of area of square in the calling function. So now suppose this is the code itself. I don't want to print the answer over here. I want to return this $A which is having answer to this calling program. Okay, suppose I am calling it some here itself. So I have to receive the answer in one variable. Suppose ans is equal to, so when I make a call to this SQU, it will calculate the answer, it will return the answer to the calling line itself. So I am receiving that answer into one variable, and then I will be printing answer wherever I want. You can print over here or wherever you want. So area of square is equal, is your answer is in uns variable and semicolon. So let's see, does it executes or not. Welcome, calculate area of square, enter side of square. We are here as of now. So I am giving the value, suppose 2. This 2 will be passed to the SQU function. The 2 will be received in X. 2 into 2 will be calculated. 4 is in A. 4 from the A will be written and it will be received in answer variable, and then it will be displayed that area of square is 4, that is answer. So return keyword is used to return the answer from the function. Next, now suppose we want function to return a particular type of value only. We want to give a restriction to a function while returning any value. So we can explicitly mention the return type in front of function name with the colon operator, and rest of the code will be same. We will have the same code. Let's see. Here I want to mention that this function SQU is returning value, but that should be integer only. So int is the return type. So whenever we have a variable, I want its answer to be typecasted or converted to integer variable only. Side of square is 2, area of square is 4. Suppose, let's see if we pass the floating number, because we have not mentioned this data type of s over here while reading the value. Let's see, we will try. Suppose I am giving 2.5. So area of square become 6. Whatever will be the answer, that is converted into strictly into the int format, because we have restricted that our function should return only integer type of value. So that can be done by giving colon and your return type. Next, we can have a function with default argument. With default argument, it means function with argument but having a default value. Many of the times we have a parameter in the brackets or arguments in the bracket, and we want one argument to have a default value, a pre-value, presetted value. So let's see how we can do this and where this can be used. For example, I want to calculate simple interest. Many of the time, the rate of interest is common for all the customers in the bank. So we need not to read the rate of interest. We just have to take the default interest given by the bank, whichever is it is. So let's see, we will do that. Calculate. We will write a fresh code. Calculate simple interest. So for that, I am taking principal amount from user, read line, enter amount. So we will be reading that value. Then I am taking the for how many number of year we want that value as a loan. So I am reading, enter number of years. Now I want to have a function for calculating simple interest. Suppose I have a function with SI name and with argument as for principal amount and number of years. Suppose I am having variable $x, comma $y and $z. So I want to make a call to function. So I will be passing this $p and $n. So principal amount I will be passing number of year. Now I had done this calling line. Okay. So we need to define the body of the function. So I am writing function name, I have given SI. So for calculating simple interest, because of the formula is P and R divide by 100, p into n into r divide by 100. So I need three parameter: principal amount, number of year and rate of interest. So principal amount I will be receiving in x, number of year I am receiving in y, and for rate of interest I have r variable. Okay, and for rate of interest I want to set a default value. Suppose that is 7.5. So this is known as a function with default argument. Obviously, it will have arguments, but default argument means the last. Always the last or trailing or ending parameter will be having as a default value only. No in between argument can be set as a default. You can have many default argument, but that should be from the ending side, from the last side. So we will be calculating the answer. Dollar answer is equal to what? Dollar x into dollar y into dollar r divide by 100. So we are printing here simple interest is equal to answer is in uns. Okay, function body is done. Thank you. Let's see what happens over here. Welcome. Calculate simple interest. First message is enter amount. Suppose I am entering 2000 rupees I want for how many number of years? Suppose for 1 year. Okay. So this amount p and number of year got passed to the SI function because I have made call to SI. If you can observe here, the function body or definition is having three parameters x, y, and r. But I have called a function just passing two arguments only. So what about third argument? When I have not passed rate of interest, by default the set value is taken for calculation. So it will have 2000 into 1 into 7.5 divided by 100, and the answer is 150. So I have to pay the simple interest of 150 rupees. Now, what if I want to change the rate of interest for this particular customer? And now I am making a change in the call and I am giving explicit value for third parameter. Suppose I am giving 9.5. So what will happen? Let's see. Enter amount 2000, number of year 1. Now if you can see, the simple interest is 190. So what has happened? When I have passed three parameters, the P is saved in X, N is passed to Y, and this 9.5 will replace the default value of R, that is 7.5. So instead of 7.5, we will have 9.5 for calculation because it will override the default value. The default value will be taken for calculation only if no value is given from the calling function. So this is the use of function with default argument. So in this session, what we have seen, a function which is a block of code which performs a particular task. Advantages are it is used to perform a task repeatedly, but as and when we want. It will reduce the number of code line. There is need to write code only once and we can make a call many times wherever we want. The types of function are predefined function and user defined function. Predefined functions are math function, array function, string function, file functions, datetime function, etc. What about user defined function? We can write our function for the user application, and in that we have seen the variations of writing user defined function: function without argument, function with argument, function with return type, and function with default argument. So I hope you have understood the concept. See you in the next session. Thank you.